Hello, I'm Don Finn, and I serve as the editor of the COABE Journal. I'm also a past president of COABE. It is my pleasure to welcome you today to our author interview. Today, we are going to be talking with Dr. Jack Macfarlane, who has contributed an article to the latest edition of the COABE Journal that focuses on professional development. We're really grateful for Jack to be here. And Jack, welcome. And would you mind telling us just a little bit about yourself?
Sure. I'm Jack Macfarlane. I am a teacher at Mansfield City Schools Adult Education Aspire program right here in Ohio. My background is in training and development leadership. That's why maybe I am a little more in tune to pick up gaps in training and development.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks for introducing yourself. And definitely, your background in training and development certainly is appropriate for this edition, and really appreciate your contributions to the article. So the first question is, why did you write this article for the COABE Journal?
I wrote the article because over the years, the past 20 years, more years than I care to mention, but I've attended dozens of professional development seminars, webinars, and a few of those were not communicated clearly enough. So not only myself, but my staff members, faculty members attended training that we did not need because it was not clearly announced. So I wrote the article to try to clarify and to give a little bit of information on how to really communicate training and development in such a way that it doesn't attract the wrong audience.
Yes, and that was definitely prevalent in your article. So let me ask you that, of course, our readership is wide. We have adult education teachers, we have administrators, we have folks at the state level, and nationally as well. How do you envision, or how do you think your article will benefit the practitioners who will read it?
Yeah, I think the people who read the article will benefit if they're attending training and the training is not clearly announced. They're going to be able to have an idea of what questions to ask to kind of define, is this training appropriate for me or not? Okay, and people who are preparing training, those who are actually training development personnel, people will be able to announce the training that they put together in such a way that it attracts the folks that they intend the training to be for. So that's what I feel my readers will take from the article.
Great. And so how do you suppose then the ideas that you present and the fact that they, go into a training prepared and actually find those trainings, those development opportunities that are appropriate for them, how then in turn do you suppose that will benefit the learners that they serve?
Right. I think that if you train the trainer better, they're attending the proper training, they themselves would train students and staff in a better way. So I think altogether, everyone would benefit from a more clear way to present what training is going to happen, how it's going to happen, who's going to present it, what takeaways I'll have from the training. So from that perspective, I think that everyone would benefit.
So one of the things, and I appreciate the subheadings that you have in your article, and one of them is the dread of vague professional development descriptions, and I really appreciate that. Do you want to talk a little bit more about that, and again, how it lends itself toward being better prepared and finding appropriate PD?
Sure, I'll give you an example, a very embarrassing example. And again, most of the training I attended was fine. This article was written for the times when it was not. So during COVID-19, I saw a webinar, and it was free and very inviting. The title, it only had a title, something like, how to gain better strategies on online teaching. So we were all, it was all new to us on how to teach online because we had no students in the classroom during those days. So I thought, what a good idea would be if we gather some staff and some faculty and watch this webinar. And we sat for an hour watching a webinar that was nothing more than a sales pitch for a training platform that we were not allowed to purchase anyway. So we all lost an hour of our lives to that. And I have many examples just like that. So I want to be able to be an agent for change and maybe avoid that.
Right, absolutely, and I think that that's very helpful, and that certainly is a very clear illustration that many of us have probably found ourselves in, whether it's been an online training or even you mentioned conferences and conventions and so on, and the importance of having those clear descriptions. And so, let me ask you, what do you hope the readers will take away from this article?
Well, I'm hoping the readers will take away, I practice what I preach. So they should have a very specific set of guidelines on how to communicate the training that they're putting together in a concise way so that they attract the proper audience.
And so one of the things that stands out on your article is not only where you talk about the vague descriptions, but you actually provide some insights into clear training announcements and making sure that there's full disclosure, if you will, and clear descriptions and so on. And so related to that then is, do you have any additional comments that you would like to share with our audience about your article and about professional development in general?
No, just keep in mind Bloom's taxonomy. I know it was written in 1957, but I don't think anybody has been able to come up with something better. It just use verbs that are action verbs. Don't write outcomes that tell me that I'm going to understand something or I'm going to know something. Just tell me exactly what it is that I can do with the training that I will receive, something very specific and measurable.
Definitely. I appreciate that perspective, bringing some of the theory into it, and that drives appropriate professional development and instruction for that matter. And also, you actually delve in a little bit to talking about Malcolm Knowles and andragogy in particular in your article. So really appreciate those aspects as well. So Jack, thank you so much for taking time to chat with me and to give our audience some perspectives about your article. The article title is Defining and Communicating the Expected Learning Outcomes of the Professional Development of Adult Education Instructors. And again, that's by Dr. Jack Macfarlane. So Dr. Jack, thank you so much. And if you would like to download any of our articles or even look at our article archives, visit COABE.org and click on the journal link at the top of the homepage. Thank you again for joining us, everyone, and we wish you well.